There's a fight. You're going to be in for a fight of your life, young man.
Oh, that language we speak.
Basically, for once in his life, he's speechless.
Brings and takes the idol and places it in the center. And what happens is there's a bit of a flash, and then it kind of fights with itself. The light gets dimmer and brighter and dimmer and brighter, and then it reaches an equalization phase. But what you do notice is that time slows down, sounds dull, movement becomes heavy. Even the flames of some of the candles seem to move slower. It's not frozen, it's just considering, and she says, this is not activation, this is recognition. It's the keystone. Represents both truth and revelation. The idol represents memory and preservation. And when brought together, the world briefly aligns as it was. And as you sit there listening to her words, you look and you can see the idol begin to almost weep out of the face pieces that look like the eyes. And shapes form in the liquid. Faces, cities, battles. She says, those are not illusions that you see. Those are memories made visible. And then as she's talking, the keystone begins to glow. And it begins to glow outwards. And whenever that light touches the brine, the visions become clearer, less distorted. And then you can see a city, not ruined, but alive and thriving, too large to belong to just men. Black and green stone rise to impossible angles, blocks the size of ships, fitted without a seam or logic. No streets, only processional voids between the structures. Everything is wet, warm, and quiet. Vines do not grow on the city, they emerge from it. Pools of still water reflect things that are not above them. There are no people, but the city feels occupied, like something watching you, remembering. At its center, something vast coils beneath the stone, not seen, but implied by the way the city subtly breathes. And she says, this is the city of Zuthal. And then it shifts. And the weight is gone, but before you stands a temple, perfect white stone, not carved, but made whole. Lines are exact, angles are deliberate. Nothing has decayed. Light does not fall here, it originates. There's no red sky, only a vast, pale gold horizon with no sun visible, yet everything is illuminated. The air is still, dry, and honest. No vines, no salt, no ruin. Only clarity, exposure, and truth. She says, this is the temple of first light. And she says, at the heart of the temple, it's an empty space, a place where something should be. And you all know and realize that what's missing is that keystone.
Oh.
And what will this keystone do if placed in?
And everything as you're looking, as you're seeing this, you're seeing these visions layered on the world in a place. And both of the visions are together but separate. One is a city that refuses to forget, and the other is a temple that refuses to lie. Varcoon, you feel both absolute certainty and crushing doubt. And you realize that faith was never meant to be safe. Dis and Bork, you both see moments where your choices mattered and where your choices didn't. And you begin to feel that the world could have been different, but wasn't. Oh no, that should have been Bork and Daglin. Dis feels the pull of both forces. Growth from Zuthal and clarity from the temple. And you understand that these forces were never enemies. They were only out of balance. And as it begins to shift and the vision begins to dissipate, as the roots retract and then disappear, and the water reflects the sky, it begins to change, and you see the shadows on the floor split in almost two directions away from everybody. You all hear a whisper. We were never meant to be apart. And then each one of you gains a mark on the palm of your hand. One gold sun, and then another green twisted sigil like the idol, but then they fade. And she says, the destination we've determined is the Zin Desert. And as you're thinking about that, you're realizing that this journey will not be a short one. She turns and sits, and then she reaches in and scoops out the idol and passes it back to you. Says, really, this is up to you. This is not a dangerous task. It could be fraught with danger, but the task itself is not. It is about alignment, recognition. Perhaps you may glimpse a vision of how things were meant to be. But danger does come later, when choices are made. And for a moment, the world remembers itself and does not break. So the temple was not buried to hide it. It was buried because it was the last place these forces were ever in balance. And for those of you that paid attention, The idol did not resist the keystone, and the keystone did not burn the idol. They complete each other. Final resolution. It's not destruction, but reconciliation. So, what is your next move?
Hmm.
A long boat trip.
So you are, just to clarify, this vision that we had, is this a directive or is this a suggestion?
It's a suggestion. It's not. I'm not asking you to go. It is totally up to you. You are the ones in possession of both items.
What can you tell us about this place?
The Temple of First Light was created many eons ago, where light first entered from a golden sun, not a red sun. And it aligned when the sun rises. Zuthal was buried in the desert, not to hide, but to allow those that were there to sleep. Temple within Zuthal.
Interesting.
And she says a little bit about the keystone. The keystone is not a key to a door. It is a fragment of that alignment, a piece of the original orientation of the sun before it dimmed to the redness we see today. And as she says that, the sun begins to crest over the horizon when her house is set up on that line, and the sun streams in, and it remembers there when the light was once the light once fell pure and unbroken.
Do we have any maps of the? Is there any ancient maps or anything that can give us a direction on where to go and where to start?
Within the desert, I've never been that far north.
The other issue is that some of us are drained from our battle with the undead. Is there anything that we can do to, or anything that we can exchange for the healing gifts of Auroris to bring our souls back to where it should be?
Well, of course, we can arrange that. If you would undertake this, we can offer a marginal discount.
Of course. How many of out of character? How many of us are drained? Myself and two others. Name your. We will accept the mission. Name your price.
It was when we had discussed earlier. It was 1,500 gold apiece, but the three of you, we could arrange all three of you to be cleaned for 1,500.
I have 700. Anybody else?
Yep, I have money.
I have money. I won't when I'm done, but I'll have a little bit.
I give up 700 gold to the pot.
I can do
I'll put up
5.
1,200. Anybody got 3?
I got 5. So I'll
Yeah,
cover the rest.
my 7, your 5, and anybody else?
Yeah, we'll put some on there.
England, I know you got money stashed somewhere about this
Yeah,
city.
we'll match. We just had a great silk deal, babe. So we can totally match the Hyperborean with his good mood. I'm feeling philanthropic right now. Like, let's do it. All right, let's do it.
So I'm going from 817 to 117.
And those are on our sheets, right, John?
And I'm going from 531 to 31.
Need money for supplies. That's why I'm keeping the other ones.
Yep.
So who's pitching in the 3? Anybody?
I'm gonna match your 7.
You don't have to. I mean,
Yeah, I put in
Well, yeah.
500, so
Oh, we'll all get it. We'll get it back then.
all right. So yeah, we covered the 500 or the 1500.
Yeah, it's a wonderful couple card games, and we're gonna be on the sea for about 3 months. So don't worry, we're gonna get more money. These sailors love to gamble, I tell you.
As the Keystone doesn't give coordinates, though, it creates a trail of phenomena leading towards the temple and Zuthal. She says, recently, tides have been behaving strangely. Salt deposits have formed in unnatural patterns. You've seen that yourself. But recently, as recently as yesterday, I heard stories of dead fish orienting themselves to all point in one direction. And as far as I understand the geography of our fair land, it is towards Zin. As I spoke with a druid last night, who believed that the land itself is remembering the path.
So by boat, she believes that we'll be able to kind of see the certain phenomenon and kind of find our way that way. Follow, the weird currents that aren't supposed to be currents. Follow the mass schools of fish that are pointing dead in the opposite way of a current pointing at something, like that kind of shit.
Yes.
Oh, great, lovely, lovely. Does anybody sail? Jeff, what's your background? Anybody a sailor here or anything?
I'm a sailor.
I have
Land navigation. What's the difference between land and sea? Not much.
Commodore, that does suit you, Varkoon, I must say.
Commodore sounds good. Actually, I am a navigator. My background's a sailor. My secondary skill is
Dude, okay, that's half the battle. Excellent. What do you think, Viking? Shall we shall we get a ship? Find one of these crews here?
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
What do you say, Dis, old friend? These phenomenon sound eerily familiar to some of the things we've been dealing with.
but it's on a boat out to sea.
It's not a long journey. I'm sorry, my friend. I can't lie to you. It's an extremely long journey.
I'm just trusting that once we get to land and we restore balance, it will be worth the personal sacrifice of a long boat journey.
Well spoken, Dis, my friend. Well spoken as always, you silver-tongued devil.
And as you depart, you do take. Soul offers the keystone and stops Varcoon for uh, 10 minutes and casts um, restoration
Oh.
and you feel your constitution return, and she says to both Dis and Bork, return tomorrow, and we will look after your
So we have 2 more days
ailments.
to prepare before we go on this journey. I appreciate your sorry, I'm at a loss. I feel shocked from regaining my constitution. I appreciate your generous gift and your generous abilities. We will return tomorrow to for the rest of my friends. In the meantime, is there any? I think I'm going to go to the library to study more on this the city of Zuthal. To find out anything that I can, anything more that will give us an edge.
That sounds wonderful, and yes, Varcoon, there is no other group that I would task this with than you and your friends.
That is high praise. Thank you.
And as you walk out and the morning sun does hit your face, it does feel a little bit warmer than normal. You feel a little bit lighter. What would as Varcoon mentions, he's going to head down to the library to try and seek out some more information. What would Dis, Borg, and Daglin get up to?
Well, knowing we're going on a long trip, I'd probably start preparing and getting supplies and put together everything to be prepared for it.
You, Dis, what you got going on?
I would join him in supply prep, trusting his experience to see where it's something I don't understand well. So making sure that my supplies match what they should be with his guidance and wisdom.
And I will be talking to the perfume and spice sisters. And I'm going to procure some ingestible and some coatable poisons.
Ah, be expensive.
Flipping Mickey's, baby. We might get a ship for free. Ha ha! We're going to hire some guys. They're going to go on our ship. Woohoo!
That would be my next question. Who would be going to look for the ship?
Should be the sailor and the Viking, probably. I got good negotiating stuff, but they have all the knowledge. They could probably do just as good a job.
Haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, the Vikings have a different way of negotiating than I do. It's successful, not gonna lie. It's a successful technique. I've seen it work. I go, Bork, fold your arms. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I like that. We got the Hyperborean walking in. Oh hell yeah, dude! It's gonna be some Death Soldier right behind him.
I even got bad MF on my pouch.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody does. That's right. And I'm just stuck with a Banana Slugs T-shirt. What's up with that?
Right.
Damn you, Santa Barbara.
Heading down.
Keep your eye out for any McChristies. Spits to the left.
Heading down to the docks where you were employed the last time, but you were also aware that there are ships for hire or transport. You see start asking around the dockmaster, who's available for transport to the Gall Hills, the Gall or Bog Rest? And the dockmaster is looking through his ledger, and it's here, that one, and he points down to the end of it's 3 piers down, Stable Marlin. They're heading out in the next 2-3 days. Speak to the captain.
What's the captain's name?
I think it's Murian McArthur.
Well, let's go over there and talk with the captain and see if we can arrange a passage.
As you come up on the ship, it's big, 2-masted schooner with a reinforced, almost like a cog leg hull. It's got a big heavy hull built for cargo, but modified for speed and survivability. It's been refitted here. You can see there's a lot of chromarium markings that are on it in the new in any of the reworked stuff, and you can see on the side of this boat there's a faded marlin sigil, and its eyes scratched out and replaced with a crude spiral. And as you're there, you can see guys taking few crates on and off onto the boat, and what would you like to do?
Well, Bork, I think you better go talk to this guy first, and I'll back you up. I don't think my charismatic attitude will help in this situation.
My charisma is not all that much better, but I can talk him up. I can do a good job with that.
All right.
So I head over towards where he is, and ho there.
Yeah. As you look, this person turns around, weathered ash blonde hair, braided tight, her left eye is clouded from salt rock, and she says, "Oh there, Viking," and she's looking up at you, and how can I help you?
It's my understanding that you may be heading in the general direction of Dunwich. or
Well,
and me and my companions are looking to find portage to those locations.
we can certainly make room for those with coin. Normally, I travel to Gaul. That's my home port. But Progressed. I haven't been there in an age. And she turns and looks to this great big huge broad scarred guy with big bare arms. Even though it's cold, he's got tattoos on all of his arms, and as you're taking a quick look, you can see a lot of these tattoos look to be of many known religions, all different ones. And as you're looking at some of them, and some of them you don't even recognize.
I look at how many he has, and like, I actually know someone that is a lot like you.
He's got, yeah. There's a whole lot. And she says, Leonidas, what say you, Progressed? Side captain. We haven't been there in an age. And as she says, I could probably do bog rest, and then we'll go on to Gaul after. What sort of passage would you all be liking? First class, second class, third class?
I didn't think your ship was that big.
Well, we do have some first class suites, although that is very expensive for a trip of this nature. Would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,400 gold pieces for that, or we can get you a spot down in steerage for 720 silver each.
Steerage is the lowest class, right?
That's the lowest class. We can bump that up for 5 silver a mile. And she's doing the calculations in her head. It's probably somewhere around 3,500 silver in my head. Maybe that converts it to gold. 350.
Yeah, so that'd be 350 gold.
Yeah, each.
Yep. I'm trying to think. Do we have that in the party?
How much?
350 apiece.
I'm gonna have to borrow it.
Yeah, that's the middle boarding.
That's fine. I'll have to. When you're gonna have to front me like 100, like 200, if you have it, or we're gonna have to sell some stuff.
Yeah, we were gonna have to sell. I just dropped 5, and I have a whole 31 left.
That's what I asked on Discord where we at for the communal pot, because my personal pot is about bone dry.
Yep.
So you guys can figure that out. Is this agreeable to you, either steerage or second class?
Steerage was going to be what, 35 gold apiece?
So, yeah, 720, 72 gold apiece.
72 gold apiece. Well, that we can pay directly out. That we can pay directly out of gold for the party gold right now. Right now, party gold is only 504.
So that would cover the second level, but it wouldn't leave much left.
No. Second level was, well, no, it was 72 gold apiece. So yeah, that would cover second level.
That's first level. That's steerage.
Well, and these men are no ordinary passengers, might you know. We have an esteemed navigator. We have an impressive. All of us here are battle hardened and seaworthy veterans that are more than capable of helping you in a pinch, as opposed to sitting here on our inside of our barracks and waiting for the good sea gods to let us come through. If there is ever a problem here that we need to encounter, you know that the Brotherhood of the North Star, the Dark Star, will be more than willing to help us get through and take out any situation that we may encounter. That for sure should drive our prices down. We're not just simply passengers. We are in effect an extra crew. We're somebody for you to call upon in times of need.
And this is not
my friend Dis.
expertise, and my friend here, who is a sailor and navigator, would ease your watches at the very least.
Absolutely.
I could be the ship's navigator.
We have a navigator.
No, you don't, as I push him overboard.
I'm good at keeping clothes clean.
Again, as you are introduced to the navigator, another Hyperborean, although she is pale, near translucent skin, inked. Her tattoo, she's got star charts across her arms, and
I would love to study her chart sometime, but business is business.
The other possibility is we
I-
might be able to purchase a ship. We can get a Viking Skettering, which is about a 17-foot long boat, can be crewed by 7 people, up to 7.
I agree. You will call me Commodore.
Exactly.
wow, we could talk about that.
Oh, are you feeling lucky?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a female navigator of my race that has star charts, so
Star chart.
We all know you boys fire blanks anyway.
But the one thing is we can basically follow the coast. It will probably take longer, and you'll have to do the navigation when we're going across Bergen's Bay and when
That's
we
fine.
break out towards Seawolf Island. But
I'm up for any adventure, especially one that has a
John-
female navigator.
So John, we're gonna go into our pocket, or we're gonna take off. We're gonna pull out a couple of the singlets, and we're gonna pull off one of our rings that we have. It's got like a small emerald in it. I think it's like 500 or 600 GP or 800 GP or something like that. I'm gonna hand this. I'm gonna take the ring out. I'm gonna go. This should buy us passage. I go. Do you have someone here that can prove that it's of its worth? I take a bite of it and I hand it to the captain.
As he looks at it, and it's Tulagak, where is he? And you see this little Eskimo guy pop up, and he's short, like ridiculously short, and he comes flying up. He says, "Yes, Captain. What is it? What do you need?" And she says, "This man here says this ring here is worth passage for 4." And he looks at it. He says, "Yeah." He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a little like a little jeweler's loop and pops it in his eye and sticks out his hand, and he's just got a thumb and a pinky. He's missing three fingers on his hand, and he holds them out. And
He messed up 3 times. That's right.
and as he looks at you, he's looking at it and he goes, 4 for 4 passengers. Yes, for 4. not 5. My question is, what are you guys going to do when Ka arrives?
I'll just stay in the idol.
Cheap bastard.
As Daglin was, she says, we'll talk. He's looking at it and he says, pretty close, Captain. Pretty close. And hands it back. And she looks at Daglin, and you can see there's between the two of you, there's a little bit of Celtish knowledge and Celtish familiarity. She pops her foot up on the rail and leans in. She says, if we're at sea, you're at sea. And if there's a fight, you're going to be in for a fight of your life, young man.
Oh, that language we speak.
Yeah, Penguin for once in his life is speechless. Turns red.
What the sea brings is not what comes up on land. Sea is enormous. What's in the sea is equally as large.
I agree. Let us hope, Rel, signing with us that we may never find that out, and we have a safe and easy trip. Welcome. We're happy to be aboard. We are the Brotherhood of the Dark Star.
Yes, I have heard your name mentioned in the city.
Of course you have. Of course. And as
she
we've
says,
heard of you, one of the greatest seafaring captains around. That's why my friend Dis here is so excited to be here. I grabbed Dis.
she says, well, we can definitely help you out. And she takes the coin or the ring and pockets it, and says, we sail in 2 days' time. Your quarters will be prepared, and we will head north. With that, our next session will be the journey. See how that goes.
We got to sneak con too. That's gonna be fun.
Gotta see what their opinion is of having undead minions on their ship.
We're not charging those guys extra rate, are we? They can work all night. Yeah, dude, come on, we got bonuses.